69 years old. I want to memorize Quran from scratch. I never memorized before. Oh Allah, don't take my soul till I memorize the Quran. Do you know that in Mauritania, children will take knowledge of seerah only from women? All the village wake up 2 hours before Fajr. 10 juz every single day. Quran is every 3 days because there's no distraction. 24 hours there is not 24 hours. It's 48 hours, maybe 72 hours. It's something, subhanallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Many people, when they heard Mauritania, they just said this is tents, desert, very simple life. How can these people have this very sharp memory in Quran, in old poetry, with this very simple life? So, in short, the answer is in 2 points. The first one is in the strategy of hifz. The second is in, which is the real secret, is the lifestyle. When I say lifestyle, I mean the environment there is make you close to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Let me tell you this story. When I was there in one of the mahdara, we call it mahdara, the place of learning Quran and all the Islamic studies. I have an honor to be a student of one of the most famous scholars in Mauritania, rahimahullah, Muhammad Salim al-Addud, very famous. That time he was 77 years old. And usually we study 4 days a week, and then Thursday and Friday is our weekend. So it was summer, very hot. So usually people in summer, they don't sleep in the house, they sleep outside in a shade or just something very simple. So we are, as students, we enjoy our time in reading some poetry, some Arabic literature. And what affected me a lot when I see that old man, 77 years old, my teacher, he stand for Qiyamul Layl all the night, just like a pillar, all the night. That leave a remarkable effect in my life. Subhanallah. So he's not teach Islamic studies or Quran. He embodied this Islamic Quran. He lived with this Quran. It's just one example. Do you know that all these villages teaching Quran, all the village wake up 2 hours before Fajr? The whole village, women, men, children, everyone. The students will run to the mosque. You will enter the mosque 2 hours before Fajr, and it's full. You will enter the masjid 2 hours before Fajr, and masjid is full of students of knowledge. One is praying Qiyamul Layl, one is revising his text, one is revising Quran, and they are shouting all. Why shouting? Because this is the Mauritanian style. Everyone is shouting at the same time. There is no distraction. Instead, there is motivation. You will be awake. And in the houses, the elderly people, they pray Qiyamul Layl. So I think that's the secret of this environment. That when you grow up in a village like this, and that will give you, number one, that sense of spirituality, and will give you even self-discipline. You'll wake every single night 2 hours before Fajr, and then you will take a nap after Dhuhr straight away. It just remind you of the daily life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I can't forget that story. Happened 1995. I was in that desert seeking knowledge, and I met an old man. And he told me his story. He lived with one of my aunties of my father. And the story is that man, he came one day to that village. He was 69 years old. He said, I want to memorize Quran from scratch. I never memorized before. So everyone shocked. How can you do that? He said, I have a dream. I want Allah, when He take my soul, that His book is in my heart. That's my dream. So then my auntie said to him, they stay with us. You can't stay with the students. We'll take care of you. I remember every single morning, that old man, he will take his portion of Quran, maybe half page of Quran, repeat it 100 times, and then start crying. Oh Allah, when I was young, I had very sharp memory. Now, I just waste my time. Oh Allah, don't take my soul till I memorize the Quran. And then he stand up, pray 2 long rak'ah. And then he sit down and he repeat the same half page 100 times again. Every single day he repeated that half page 300 times. When he finished the Quran, he repeated again. He spent 8 years in memorizing Quran. Subhanallah, when he completed Quran and celebrate that, after 1 year, he passed away. But after he achieved his dream, his goal, that environment help you not just to memorize, to increase your connection with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. This is the secret, which is the lifestyle. There's a saying that culture eats the strategy for breakfast. I think that's the secret of Mauritanian culture. The culture gives you that environment. The strategy you may fail or not, but with that environment, there's something that when you achieve anything in that environment, you'll always humble yourself because you see someone else who go further. If you memorize Juz' Amma, there's many people they memorize more. If you even completed the Quran, there's some people they start their journey with Arabic language. When you completed that book, in level 1, there's another people they go further to level 2. You always, when you are in that environment, you're always motivated in healthy environment. That culture starts with a child since he or she born. That when a child born, he will surrounded by those pious women and men, especially women. In Mauritania, women play a big role in raising children. Do you know that in Mauritania, the children will take the knowledge of seerah, the life of our Prophet ﷺ, only from women. Only from women. And the basic of Arabic grammar in Lahw and Sarf also from women. The role of father will come later. So in that very young age, the woman, they will tell their children story, but you can say it's about the companions of Rasulullah ﷺ, about the life of Rasulullah ﷺ. You will surprise that in very young age, they will know a lot about the life of Rasulullah ﷺ before they reach the 7 years old. A lot. When I compare that to what I see in Western country nowadays, that a man came to you and he said, I'm very knowledgeable in seerah. I completed Al-Rahiq al-Makhtoom. And I remember those children, I see a big difference there. Because it starts from the beginning. And they compete each other with these details about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So children, they learn a lot just by environment. There's a funny story happened to me when I came to that desert, because I grew up not in Mauritania, but I went to that desert many times. Every holiday, my father will drop me in that desert and I will spend 2-3 months. So in that desert, when I came the first time to one desert, so I was revising Alfiyat ibn Malik, a 1,000 line in Arabic grammar. And then I made a mistake. So a child 5 years old, yes, 5 years old, he corrected me. So I'm shocked. Did you memorize this? He said, no. But I heard this line many times from the students. That's environment. When a child became 5 years old, then they start to learning alphabetic. And after that, they will starting memorizing Quran. From year 5, usually they will complete it in 2-3 years. In 8 years old, they memorize Quran. 8, 9, maximum 10 years old. How? There is also in our strategy, maybe in some countries, what we call a Lahw. It's a wooden tablet. It's a piece of wood, you can say wooden tablet. We don't allow children to read from the Mus'haf directly. No, the children should memorize Quran from the Lahw, from that wooden tablet. And that, number one, because they, in that very young age, maybe they don't respect the Mus'haf, they do something with Mus'haf. So wooden is better. Also, our father said that that wooden tablet will make Quran stick in your memory. So every wooden tablet has 2 sides, front and back. And you write in that front, for example, 3 portions of Quran. Maybe half page, half page, half page. And every single day, you'll come to the teacher and recite to him. Correction is vital, very important. You can't start memorization till you recite it very well. Then you'll start your repetition. So you recite it, you check your recitation, and then you start memorizing by a lot of repetition. Repetition is a very famous in Mauritania. That they said, at least during the day, you have to repeat that half page 200 times. At least. For example, you'll start here 100 times, and in Zuhr time, 50 times, in Maghrib time, 50 times. And in the second day, before you take your new portion, you have to repeat it the yesterday class 50 times again. So that 250. They said repetition is not for tomorrow. Repetition is for 10 years ahead. That always said, if the more you repeat, the more it stick in your mind. Brain just like a muscle. So you train that muscle by more repetition. And they said to this children, the more you repeat, the more Allah will reward you. Why you get bored? So usually Mauritanian, they do what psychology called spaced repetition. So you repeat it 100 times in the beginning. Then in Zuhr time, 50 times. Then Maghrib, 50 times. Then in the second, tomorrow you repeat it 50 times. It's not enough. That's what we call in Mauritania, Hizbul Lawh. Hizbul Lawh means you are now in the first hizb. You know, Quran divided to 60 hizb. Hizb is the half of juz'a. Okay, you are now in the first juz'a, for example. Okay, while you are still in this hizb, you have to repeat the whole hizb every single day, day and night. One time in the morning, one time in the evening, till you finish all this hizb. Okay, and then in the weekend, we have another also portion of revision. Do you know that in Mauritania, when I went to desert, the people revise 10 juz'a every single day. Quran is every 3 days. Because there's no distraction. There's no internet, there's no phones, there's no TikTok, no Instagram. The first thing I noticed in desert that 24 hours there is not 24 hours. It's 48 hours, maybe 72 hours. It's something, subhanallah. It shocked me. Time is so long. You can do whatever you want. So that's why I said, oh, this is difficult in the beginning. This 1995, it just 20 days after that, alhamdulillah, I remember I used to recite 26 hizb every single day. It's nearly half of the Quran. So I finished the Quran every 2-3 days. And I can't imagine that before. It's environment. Everyone encourage you and compete with others. Also, when the time comes to wash your lawh, you know that wooden tablets, when the front side is full now, you have to wash it with water because you write something else. What does the teacher remind you? Don't wash this till it's in your heart. In the day of judgment, it will be in your heart. So while you are washing, remember, if you don't take care of Quran, Allah will wash that from your heart. So you go and wash it with that mentality, and you are very young, and then you write something else. Another strategy is shouting. You'll be surprised. When you go to any mahdara there, everyone is shouting, children shouting. They said, the strategy is your ear need to hear what your tongue is saying. Very important. And when you speak loudly, especially with Quran, is very important. No distraction, subhanAllah. With time, you will get in that mood, it will motivate you even. It will take the laziness or you will not be sleepy at all in mahdara. You can't. Another strategy is when every Tuesday at night after Isha, they are a test from the teacher. He will take all the children outside the village, and then he will pick randomly students, and you'll go and face Qibla, and you recite what the teacher told you, usually one page of the Quran. When you make a mistake, the teacher will not correct you. He will remain silent, because that's not his job. That's the job of the other students. He wants everyone to focus during, not just in his turn, but in focus in. If all the students, they don't know the mistakes, they all will get in trouble that night. So you have to be focused with every single student. That's every Tuesday at night. When you complete the Quran, usually they complete Quran with memorization, but very fast recitation, because that's not the end. When you finish that first phase, you start your second phase. We call it in Mauritania, al-alla. Alla means repeat again. You repeat Quran again from cover to cover. But this time, before you start your second phase, you will learn tajweed. Tajweed in the second phase. We call it maqra. Maqra al-Imam Nafi'. It means the tajweed. You will learn tajweed here. You will learn warsh and qalun, because you memorize already. And then you start your journey again, but this time with tajweed and with maqra. You have to recite in qalun, recite in warsh. And you already memorize it, but you have to repeat it again. If you take in the first phase, for example, 1 page, this time will take 2 or 3 pages, till you finish the Quran in this second phase. Then you start your third phase. The third phase is, in that time, you will learn a poem about how to write Quran exactly in the way that the companions in the time of Uthman, they write the Quran. You know the spelling of Quran, that the way they write Quran is not like the normal style of Arabic language. It's special. So for example, the Maliki Yawmiddin, you'll see the alif is very small alif. In normal Arabic language, you'll write Maliki, small. That small alif, we call it alif hamra. Hamra means red alif. Why red alif? Because they used to write it in red ink, because it's very small. Why? Because there's different qira'at. Some qira'at read it Maliki, another qira'at Maliki. So to distinguish between this, we write in red alif. For example, Rahmat. Rahmat in normal Arabic language is with ta marbuta, with a closed ta. But in some places in Quran, it's with ta maftuha, open ta. How do you know where's these places in Quran? You learn in this poem. So you learn this, and after that you start your third phase by writing the Quran by yourself. It's in your head, but you have to write it by yourself. If you write usually 5 juz', then you are ready for ijaza. But in that third phase, you'll start a very enjoyable also test and competition. Every Monday at night, those people in the third phase who completed that poem about rasm. Rasm is the writing style of the Quran. They will gather and they will ask each other. A child will sit down in the middle and all students behind him. And then he will write on the sands. Okay, Maliki Yawmiddin, Maliki Yawmiddin. Is it red or black? Red or black? It means red, it means long alif. That's black, red, it means small alif. We'll say small, you have to answer quickly. Okay, Rahmat in Fussilat. Rahmat in Surah Fussilat. Maftuha or Madmuma. Oh, Maftuha. Quick. So that's every Monday in the evening. So when you finish the third phase, you are ready for ijaza. Ijaza means a certificate that you are a hafiz, that the teacher will give you a sanad, a transmission or chain from the teacher to the Prophet ﷺ. But to be ready for that, there is another process. From the mahdara near my village, we have this style. You will go and recite Quran for 40 days. Every single night after Maghrib, you will start. Till the end of the night, there's no sleeping that. You will get ijaza. You recite the Quran from Al-Fatiha till An-Nas in one go. And the teacher will listen to you. You repeat that for 40 days. If it's 40 days with no mistakes, you are eligible now for ijaza. 40 khatmas to give you ijaza. Some teachers are very strict in that. That's the villages around me. Some are less than that. But that my style in my villages is 40 khatmas. After that, he said, you are ready now to call hafiz. And remember, he's now just 9 years old. So they will change the color of his hand with henna, and then that means this child is a hafiz. And usually his family will give a cow for the teacher as thank you for this effort. There will be celebration in the village. They will be very happy. Everyone will call. He will go to every single family and, oh, today so and so he completed Hifz. And some people think these children, they don't have anything to do except Quran. They don't play. They don't enjoy their life. It's just Quran, Quran. You have to know that time is so long, as I said. You know, this portion of Quran, the child will start from Fajr, probably 1 hour before Fajr, till 1 hour after sun rising. That's it. From that till Dhuhr, there's nothing. They will play, they will enjoy, they will go to the small lake next to the village. They will enjoy themselves till Dhuhr time. Dhuhr time also is just 1 hour and a half, and that's it. 1 hour and a half to 2 hours. After that, there is no till half an hour before Maghrib. There's nothing after Asr. No, it's just half an hour, 1 hour before Maghrib. That was the third session, and that's it. They play all the time. In the weekend, they have 2 days. They don't open the Mus'haf or the Lahw or memorize Quran or even revise at all. They said, we want them to come fresh in the beginning of the week. Just go and play, enjoy yourself. Usually in weekend, just the stories of Seerah, the life of the Prophet ﷺ. They compete with each other, with the companions and their lineage and all of these things. For example, a competition, they will give to each other one letter in Arabic, Ayn, for example. Okay, who can count 50 companions started with Harf al-Ayn? And they will count. Okay, what do you know about Abdullah ibn Umar? What do you know about Abdullah ibn Amr al-As? What do you know about Abdullah ibn... And that competition, that's how they spend their time in weekend, with playing, and we go to the lake, helping in farming weekend. But they say, don't think about revising at weekend. No, leave it for the weekdays, just 5 days a week. Why some people ask these questions? Because we live in a distraction. We don't have too much time because of our phones, our internet. There's no internet there. So time, you can do whatever you want. And when you finish the Quran, straight away you'll think about what's next. They said, if you memorize Quran, then now your job is to understand what's the meaning of the Quran. You'll start a long journey with Arabic language in deep level. And the curriculum is there. So what I like in this desert, that curriculum is very clear. You know, many طلاب العلم, many seekers of knowledge nowadays, shall I start with this book, with that book? No, the curriculum is ready for you since you're born. You'll finish Quran, you'll start with Arabic straight away, and every single subject have 3 levels. You'll start this poem in the beginner, in the intermediate, in advanced. Everything is clear. Also, something I like in this environment and in that curriculum, that when you study in the beginner, you study poem, the teacher will not explain for you the issues in details. No, they said, this level is not for details. This level is just to have a point of view of the whole ilm, the whole Nahw. Just to study with a little bit of explanation. Memorization and a little bit of explanation. When you go to level 2, then you'll increase the explanation. This is very important because many seekers of knowledge nowadays, many of them, they struggle to finish one book. Because they go for one book with a lot of explanation, weekly lesson, and they will stay 3 years, 4 years, and they don't finish the book. In Mauritania, that's not the case, no. You'll finish a book in every single branch of knowledge because you will go to the level 2. It's just like to see the map before, the main picture before you delve to the details. High level overview of the science, and then you delve in the second level.